why do you think it's so hard to make that transition from that to a Guardian of the Galaxies type level? Um is that just something that I'm trying to think of the right way to put this.
I'll put the word in your mouth for you. It's an inherent snobbishness, and it's absolutely there. You're making an $80 million film, and someone says, "Look at this person." And by the way, I'm not going to say the names, but this actually happened. I overheard it on a $200 million film that I was on as a stuntman. Showing this actress is real to the director, who's an A-list director, and he says, "Yes, I like her. She's great." And then someone looked down the IMDb and said, "Oh, yeah, but she just did a film with Dolph Lundgren." And he's like, "All right, forget that. Next, who's the next one on the list?" This is how it works. This is the reality of how it works. Yeah.
But I mean, you got to start somewhere, and you got to work, right?
No,
So it's
you
like,
have to tell me. I agree
yeah,
with you.
yeah, it's weird.
I would say you would watch a director who had consistently made films for $3 million that looked like they cost $10 to $20 million, and I'd give him a studio film. But speaking as someone who consistently makes, $1 million, movies look like they cost a hell of a lot more, it just doesn't work that way. That's not the rationale. There's an inherent snobbishness. They'd rather take someone who has not done a film and risk, take a risk on his being able to do a good film, but know that they will have someone with a clean, untarnished resume than they would taking someone from that. And that's, by the way, this is not a recent thing. If you go back to the 50s, the 60s, the 30s, this was how it worked then. You had B-movie directors, and they were there until somehow they got a break. You take Don Siegel, B-movie, B-movie, B-movie. Clint Eastwood does Two Mules for Sister Sarah with him, becomes sort of friendly with him. And then when he gets, Dirty Harry, he says, "I need this guy. If we're going to do this guy can actually pull it off." And before you know it, Don Siegel's now an A-lister. But that doesn't happen unless you have a big name like that give you a vote of confidence. And you can follow this back to people like Robert Aldrich. You can follow, you can go through a whole list of the B-movie directors that managed to make the break, and you realize it took an enormous challenge. It took an enormous act of will to break into the A-list. Either a big actor like Burt Lancaster or Kirk Douglas in terms of Spartacus with Kubrick, or a huge actor taking a risk on them and bringing them into the world of A. But it would never be a studio. It would never be a financier, because their risk of their $10 million looking like a B movie is too much of a even though it doesn't make sense in any format at all. For them, that would be the risk that they're not prepared to take. So it's a tricky old thing. It's the film industry and movie industry is extraordinarily snobbish. Get with it. Don't worry about it. Don't hate the game. Just
play it.
Just keep pounding away, and you do it. I have defied every ounce of logic with my career. I've gone from $100,000 movies, slamming, punching, doing these wonderful pictures with Scott, where Scott's just kicked ass in them for me and made me look good, to pictures with Olga Kurylenko, who is the next one up, who's made me look fantastic, and we've done extraordinarily well, to a picture with Aaron Eckhart, and the second one that we're doing now, which has taken me up again. So it's just a matter of clawing and pounding and not giving up and doing it, and not expecting lightning to strike, not sitting waiting for the phone to ring. I've got a few in there I'm deathly ashamed of the movies, but it is what it is, I tried really hard. I gave my blood and sweat to them, but it didn't work out the way I wanted. But that's how it goes, It's if you get a handful you are proud of, that's good.